Okay, so I guess this is episode 1 of the BSA Bantam build. So this is what we're starting off with. We have a pile of parts.
Oh shit, here we go again.
This is the engine casing. There's the other one, there's another bit, there's the cylinder head. In here we've got like the clutch pull rod, ball bearing bits, we've got the clutch basket. The clutch itself with some old nasty plates. We've got the little primary drive chain in there. Got the kickstart. I don't know what this is, ratchet thing. So the only thing I've done on this so far is these two crankcases were already split. But the bearings were still in them, the old oil seals were still in them, the old bushings were still in them, and they were covered in grease and grime. So instead of putting you guys through watching me clean all this crap, what I've done is I've just cleaned these up. They're pretty clean now. I've pressed out the bearings and the little oil, what are they called? The oil sleeves for the lay shaft. Mainly because there was just too much play in them. They were really wobbly. Same with this one. I pressed out the sleeve in there. I've also pressed out the bearings and all that sort of stuff, and just given this generally just a nice clean. A little bit of a polish on the outside, nothing crazy. The polishing is really going to be like this guy and this guy, because these are the ones that you're really going to see. These are going to kind of be tucked sort of further in. Right, so the next job for these is to get the new bearings in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these to probably in the oven for like a few minutes at 170 degrees is what I've read. The bearings, these are brand new. These are going to go in the freezer to get them nice and contracted. Then hopefully the holes on these will expand and the bearings I should just be able to drop straight in. That's the plan anyway. If I can't drop them straight in, I'm going to get them in as far as I can squarely and then press them in the rest of the way. And then obviously once these are cooled down, I can get the new oil seals in. Oh yeah, I mentioned in a catch-up video ages ago that I was waiting on some parts. These are those parts. I've got the replacement clutch springs. I've got the new clutch plates. So these are brand new. I've got locking tab washers because the originals are all bent and nasty. Didn't want to reuse those. I've got a new set of what am I trying to say? A new set of case bolts because the old set are super rusty, awful nasty. Flywheel bolt, some fiber washers because the washers that were originally on, the sump and stuff like that, they were just completely disintegrated. This is the clutch basket nut, I think, and then another, tab fold over washer jobby. What else we got in here? We have got the thrust washer for the clutch. Now, and the one that's already on there, I don't know if you can see it actually. Under there, yeah, under there. I don't know how worn that is, but for the sake of a few quid, just get a new one. And the clutch return spring. So I didn't really want to use, I don't even know if it's in here. It might be in here, might not be in here. Let's have a look. Oh, here it is, this spring. So this is the clutch lever return spring. It wasn't a lot, like I say, cost nothing to replace. And I want this bike to be as good as I can get it. So while I've got the crankcases apart and stuff, these are the things that are kind of critical to replace. The piston is knackered. It's not in a good way. It's got burn marks all over it, so clearly it's overworn. This case I'm not going to reuse, mainly because it has a giant hole in it, but that's where I think my uncle probably bought this one for, because this is good, this one. The actual barrel, like I mentioned, has got a lot of sort of rust and corrosion and stuff in there. It's pretty grimy and gross. I am sending this off to a company that specialises in bantams and bantam parts. I think it's probably where I got some of these parts from. Maybe not those parts, but definitely some that I've ordered. They are going to rebore this out. They're also going to give this thing a bit of a clean because it has been sat for a long time. And these are not aluminium. These are made of iron. So that's super rusty. This guy, this is just surface rust. This is nowhere near as bad as the corrosion on this. If you followed along on my shadow build, you'll know that I bought this stuff, which was a rust killer paint on thing. But what I actually meant to buy was this stuff. Now, I'd never used that before. It was all right. It did the job. But this is what I meant to buy. This is really nice stuff. It's sort of crystallized in here, and you mix it with water, warm water, and then you pour it in a tub, leave it with your part soak in, and then, you know, turn it every now. Well, when I last used this, I used it in a fuel tank, and it completely erased any rust that was in the tank. It was great. So I am going to just give this guy a bath, leave this overnight, and then in the morning I will come back out and you'll be able to see what it's done to it. So let me just give you a bit of a before and after, I guess. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's quite bad, but actually the wear on this is good. This thing, to test the wear on this, you're meant to lift this up and down. This doesn't move at all. Obviously there's a little bit of side to side, but that's fine. But it's the up and down you want to be cautious of, but there is no movement in that at all. So this is good. But yeah, before and after, I guess. This is just surface, it's not pitted. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. But I am going to fill this tub up with a bit of this, and then check back in the morning, and you'll be able to see how well this stuff works. Not sponsored by them, you know, but if you fancy it, hit me up. Yeah, so that is where we're at the moment. Gearbox is in here, the gear selector is in here. These are fine, don't need to do anything with those. What do we got up here? We've got the cylinder head cover. This is, I mean, it's all right, it's pretty good. It's a bit gross. I'll probably just blast that with my jet washer or something, because this is aluminium, that's fine. No risk of rust or anything. And the parts that we have over here. So we've got a set of new grips. We've got a gasket set, which I believe should still be good. We have a drive chain at the back, a rear drive chain. I'm guessing this is some sort of exhaust clamp, yet to be figured out. New sprocket, one inner tube, so a flasher relay. Don't really know if I need that or what I'm going to do with that yet. We have 2 boxes of brake shoes, 5 spark plugs for a bike that uses 1. What else we got in here? We have got, I think these are engine mounting bolts. Yeah, engine mounting bolt set. There you go. I did write on these. These are the bar bolts, so to bolt your risers on, or your bars onto the risers. And then in here is just stuff for the forks. So I haven't even tackled the forks. They are currently hiding under here. They're going to need a bit of love, but inside here is like bushings and well, not springs, but bushings and new caps and just all sorts of goodies that go into the fork. These boxes contain bits. Not really sure. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I've literally just been given like stuff. I don't even know what half this is. Some of it I might use, some of it I might not. It's just a mix. Because when my dad picked this up from my uncle's, I don't even know what this is. I looked on loads of exploded diagrams. I couldn't even find what that was. Yeah, when my dad picked up all the parts from my uncle's, they've been in storage for quite some time. And he had quite a big workshop. He had a lot of machinist tools in there. He had some normal DIY tools in there. And I mean, it was only him that knew anything about any of this stuff. But all of the bits for his Bantam were tucked in one corner. So what my dad did was just went over, packed it all up in boxes as much as it could, as much as he could identify that was part of the bike. The rest of it is sort of up there in the loft. I won't bother going up there, but there's more boxes of bolts, and the carburetor's up there, but I'm not going to get that down yet. I'll service that separately. But yeah, it's basically just come to me in about 5 or 6 boxes, and then I've sorted through a bit of it. I've got rid of some stuff that clearly wasn't for the bike, and then I've kept bits that are brand new and, you know, put them aside. And then I've decided I'm just going to start from the engine, which seems, in my mind, this is probably the most complicated bit out of the whole bike, aside from the wiring. But I have already looked up the wiring, and I can buy a wiring loom, which is like an updated version of what's already there. I think I do have the wiring loom up there in the loft, but it's just a nest of messy, tangled cables. I'll have a proper look at it later on in the build, but I already know that I can buy a brand new one for about 70 quid. It's not that much. And I think one of the things that I want to do on this bike is upgrade the ignition system to an electronic ignition system, because that cuts out a lot of the issues with the old timing and the regulator rectifier and stuff like that. And yeah, that's probably one of the more expensive things. I think that comes in at close to like 300 and something quid. So that'll be a bigger expense, but that's later on down the line. But yeah, that is where we're at with this. I mean, we've barely even started. But first things first, tomorrow I will get these two heated up. Those will be cooled down, and hopefully drop them in there. We'll check back in with this, and you'll be able to see how effective this stuff is, because this is good. I like this stuff. But like I say, a lot of this is just sort of surface rust. It's going to come straight off. I'm more interested in cleaning the sides and the actual main shaft. But yeah, stick around and we'll catch up in a bit. So this is the smallest, largest bucket I could find, mainly because this thing's kind of hard to submerge. It's like got this shaft on it that way, shaft on it that way, and it's pretty deep this way. So I've got this bucket, I've filled it with a load of water, and now I'm going to dissolve some of this. You can't really see it, it's white crystals in a white bottle. It sort of just looks like salt. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to dissolve some of this in here. Once that's done, put this guy in. This is hot water because it aids the dissolution of the crystals. Put that guy in, that will go in there, and then tomorrow we'll see what's happened. Okay, it's the next morning. This thing's been sat in this derusting liquid for about, I'd say, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours, something like that. I'm going to get it out now, give it a rinse off, give it a quick wipe down with some WD-40 to stop any flash rust, and then give you guys a better look at it. So here you go. This is it. After being in the derusting bath overnight. That stuff does an absolutely brilliant job. As you can see, obviously you can see the staining from where the rust was, but there's no actual rust on the part at all. It's obviously a bit greasy because I've chucked a layer of WD-40 on it, but considering what it looked like before, see if I can do a quick before picture and what it looks like now. Yeah, huge difference. I really love using this stuff. This is like the third time I've used it, and it really, like, even down in the centre, you can't really see, it's not light enough, but yeah, gets all the rust off, and then yeah, that's it. That part's good to go. Here you go. Here's it after hitting it with a bit of Scotch-Brite. Completely different. It's like night and day. So much better. So I've just pressed in the needle bearing. All I did was just take a bit of 10mm threaded rod, put the couple of washers, and then all you do is you just tighten, hold on to one bolt, tighten the other, and it just sort of squeezes the bearing in. So if you haven't got a bearing press and it's only a little bearing, you can do it with one of these. If you've got a bigger bearing, you might be able to get away with using the same method, but you know, the force is going to be a lot higher, so you just need to sort of think about it before you start cranking down on it. But yeah, that means this part is now complete. Bearings in, this is all oiled. I've oiled the shaft in there, so that is nice and gooey. Turns nicely, and yeah, this is now pretty much ready to go back into the engine. So I'm just cleaning up all the other parts now, slowly making my way through this pile. One thing I am doing before I clean the clutch basket is, what tends to happen on these is the plates sort of start to scallop the edges here. Can you see this? These little indents. So the best thing to do with this is just take a file and then just even out these edges as much as you can. You obviously don't want to remove too much material, but yeah, if you can get rid of those huge indents, it makes your clutch plates function a lot better. So that's what I'm doing with this guy now. These parts I've already cleaned up. I've already done the kickstart spring in there, so that's all bagged up. And once this guy's been filed down a bit, I'm going to clean this up, bag that up as well. Okay, while I am waiting for some extra bits to turn up, all this stuff is bagged up now. That's ready to go back into the crankshaft, the crankcases. In here I am degreasing the cylinder head. It's got a lot of sort of oxidation on it and stuff, so I'm giving that a little bath. In the meantime, I am going to try and shine these cases up. Now, if you watch the shadow build that I did, you'll know that the sanding and the polishing of the cases was not my favorite bit. So I've made a start on this one, 600 grit. I'm just going to start with, and then I'm going to go all the way up to whatever I've got, which I think is 3000. And then I'll polish it up from there. So yeah, I made a start on this one. Thankfully there's only this one, and this outer edge to do, compared to the 6 or so that I had to do on the shadow. So I'm going to crack on with this one, and then I'll probably move on to that one, and then maybe put these together, do them together so they're uniform. Maybe then it will just feel like 2 casings. Anyway, sanding. Hate sanding. But, I mean, they'll look good in the end, so I'm going to do it. There we go, that's this one, as good as I can get it. Obviously it's not a mirror finish, but it's much better than, you know, what this one started as. It's pretty good. I mean, it's very pitted, as you could see. There's not really too much I can do about that. But yeah, I took it all the way up to 2500 grit. and then I did the 3 stages of the polish again, the old polishing kit with my dodgy setup. But yeah, it's done the job. I mean, that looks pretty, it's pretty shiny, so I'm quite happy with that. I'll probably just give it a once over with a microfiber cloth, but yeah, that's that half done.
One eternity later.
There we go, that's those 2 polished up. Obviously they're not super mirror shiny. Again, I don't have a buffing wheel. I've only got polishing pads for the drill. You'd have thought I would have bought one by now, but no, haven't. So yeah, this came out all right. I did this one. This is 2 parts, but what I did was I just stuck the bolts in, and then I did them both together. So I sanded them together and then polished them together. That way it sort of kept a nice even surface. This one was just 1 part. These are the 2 engine covers. That's it really. There's nothing else other than this guy, which but that actually goes inside this, so you don't even see this, but I polished it up anyway. Yeah, so I'm just going to chuck these in a couple of bags to just keep them nice, keep the dust off of them. Yeah, I've just got to wait for a few more bits, and then the next thing will be reassembling all the engine.